Bitcoin had a price of $0 when it first began trading in 2009, but on July 17, 2010 jumped to 9 cents. And over more than a decade later has reached a peak of almost $69,000 and has changed countless lives. But that's in the past because our 20s laid a foundation for the rest of our livelihood. So we want to invest our time and money into things that profit much, much more. People complain when they have time that they have no money, and on the flip side, people with all the money in the world complain that they have no time. So this video will cover how to make money while our time's worth more at a younger age, and also be based on a lot of personal experience I have, even though I'm only 19 and haven't even seen my 20s. Yep, it seems reasonable to gather advice about your 20s from a teenager who thinks he can grow a beard and still has voice cracks. I also, for some reason, am recording this on a ping pong table, standing up, so this is about as different from any of my videos as it gets. Anyway, these are 7 better assets in Bitcoin to have in your 20s, and this is not financial advice at all, and also remember that I'm trying to educate millions of people just like you in personal finance, but anyway, let's get into it. Why not put the finger guns up?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Bam! The finger gun.
Now, the greatest asset to have in your 20s is yourself. You trust yourself, you ideate and manifest yourself, and ultimately you yourself decide whatever you want to do in life. And I know investing in yourself is really cliche in the personal finance and self-improvement world, but it's really easy to become stuck when you just finish high school and think about whether you're weighing up university, a trade, a business, or something else. But I think the first step is to not worry about what your friends and family are pressuring you to do, and instead think about what you'd love, start researching through books or video, and somehow flip into a career. But once you've found that career, you've got to figure out how to scale and maintain a high level of income in order to invest consistently to create wealth. But nowadays your phone is the camera, and you could be the actor, director, scriptwriter, editor in any movie you want to star in. And then uploading this on social media is the platform anyone can grow an audience through. My advice, again from a 19-year-old, is to start what you enjoy and consistently try to make it work out, because I assure you eventually it will with enough effort. This is a short one, but saying you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with is completely true. Relationships you hold are one of the strongest assets you can have, so if you surround yourself with people with similar interests and beliefs as you, it can make your life much easier. Furthermore, if everyone drives each other to become better people, seeing everyone you then know win is much more inspiring to look back on in your life. Avoid toxic relationships, avoid people who are not benefiting or helping you. Everybody at some point tried to be in the popular group at high school, but if they're not treating you with respect or don't want you to succeed, don't bother with them at all. You'll then be able to learn early on if people are actually there for you, and this is a great skill to learn in your 20s. Now, my next asset to own in your 20s that is better than Bitcoin is a reliable used car. Now, I know this may sound silly at first, but unless you're not required to commute to school, work, or university, and can instead rely on family, friends, or public transport, just hear me out. Buying your first car is one of the biggest purchases you'll make at a young age, and of course, knowing that's a big purchase, you have to do a lot of research and also make sure you get a good deal. Put your ego and pride aside and just get a car that gets you from point A to B, and don't worry about the perception from others, because honestly, who cares? Quick story, but when I was buying my first car, I was gone between the price range of about $15,000 to $20,000. Now, keep in mind that this is before I ever looked into the personal finance scene at all, so don't roast me, but I was looking at buying a Holden Commodore from 2018 from a car dealership. Little did I realise that it was going to cost me about $70,000 a year just to maintain between servicing, registration, insurance, and petrol. And after negotiating and eventually declining the offer for the car, I, maybe a month later, started looking into personal finance more and realised just how stupid I was, especially since I wasn't working much during my final year of school due to the exams and assignments and all that type of stuff. And realistically, all I was using the car for was to get 5 minutes to work around the corner to my girlfriend's place and short little trips to sports training and all that type of stuff. So I ended up luckily getting a much cheaper car and hence saved myself from the massive financial burn that comes with it. And not to mention, it's honestly appreciated in value a lot in the last year that I got it. So the point is that you can save 90% of your net worth realistically not buying a big fancy car. And if you're only making $15,000 a year and you spend half of that maintaining the car that ironically gets you to work, is it really worth its cost? Now, I've always preached on this channel to take a risk when you're younger because the consequences aren't all that great when you consider how much time you have to work. As long as you have a somewhat steady income that is generally from a part-time job. Starting a side hustle is one of the greatest ways to make an extra income whilst also possibly building a career out of it. With the birth of the internet, nowadays there's so many ways to make money online, whether it's flipping items, selling a product, promoting a service, becoming a personality, or really anything you want. For myself, I bought equipment online such as the lights, the tripod, what else I get? Oh, the microphone, of course. And I just use my phone camera to record videos, then I send it on my computer, edit it, and then upload it on YouTube. Identifying a simple process, like I just said then, is one of the best ways to make a business run more fluently. And making simple tweaks when you learn new things is one of the best ways to grow and scale. I don't know why, but in my first 2 videos, I used Movie Maker out of all things because I learned to pack in grade 1 back in 2010 because we used to have the computer labs and I learned how to run the program really, really well. But then I had a mate who works in film production and he told me to use DaVinci Resolve and I've used it ever since now. But I see a lot of people who are reluctant to start at all, and the way I tell them to look at it is, don't be afraid because you'll get it wrong. Just focus on what could go right. And that change in mindset is essential to taking the first step. And as I've covered too many times on this channel, and I'll continue to do so, index funds are the simplest and safest way to make money. 89% of fund managers can't beat the market, so why can you? No offense. Instead of picking individual stocks that everyone thinks they can research, instead, how about we just get a 7 to 10% yearly return that compounds over time? You don't need to know a single thing about investing, and you can get dividends, you can have low fees through the likes of Vanguard and BlackRock and all that. So if you don't want to take a risk and are happy to park your money in an asset that is similar to a bank account in a way, then I think index funds are the best thing for you. I also recommend slowly dollar cost averaging, whether it's monthly, weekly, semi-annually. It doesn't really matter. Just focus on dollar cost averaging. Whatever your number is, $100, $200, $1,000, $10, just continuously do it and you'll see the returns over a long period of time. And of course, I have other videos on this channel that can help teach you the magic behind compound interest and index funds that is so simple. And I'll link to it in the video card right now. It's this side. Another common investment after saving up some money is buying real estate that can help produce rental income. Now you always need to consider how much the deposit is and also if you can afford the mortgage payments for the job that you have now. There's also house repairs and other expenses, but as long as the rental income outweighs those expenses, as your house appreciates, it kind of becomes like Monopoly because you'll be able to have this massive portfolio and then generate a bunch of cash flow from it. It's also really cool to look at a property and say, I own that, because it's much more tangible, obviously, than looking at your phone and saying, oh yeah, I got an Apple. Come on. Now, a much more intriguing investment that has unlimited returns that can outpace Bitcoin is through a startup business. This can be starting your own one, having a business partner, doing angel investing, becoming a franchisee, and I'm sure there's many more options. However, it can not only get you a high return on investment, but also teach you skills of building a business. Analyzing KPIs and handling people is a key expertise all successful people have endured. And I believe it teaches you that hiring employees that can become better than you did the job is the key way to scale a business and then free up all the time you want. This video conclusively explains investing in yourself, building a network around you to help you succeed, and also some other little investments that are better than buying Bitcoin. Yes, anyway guys, thanks for tuning to the video and listening to basically some key investments you'll need to make in your 20s, but also that are better than Bitcoin. I don't know about the future, but let's look into the past, which is my last video, which is about Stoicism and also how it changed my life and others. And also don't forget to like and subscribe because I'm trying to get my message out to as many people as possible, and you helping and supporting the channel will contribute to that mission. If maybe you do want to buy Bitcoin or some other cryptocurrencies, click on my link below to CoinSpot where you can get low fees on all cryptocurrencies. Below my socials, but anyway guys, hand out.